So what was a temporary holding zone soon became fenced, became militarized, and before we knew it, it was a slum.
Well, the truth is, nobody really knew what this place was. There's a lot of secrets in District 9.
District 9 departs from the classic alien invasion story in nearly every aspect, setting, themes, and representation. Depicting the story of the accidental arrival and forced relocation of an alien species in Johannesburg, director Neil Blomkamp does not shy away from recognizing and incorporating the incumbent social and economic stratifications of Joburg life. Blomkamp's work is a visually striking critique of the practice of othering in urban spaces, the legacies and realities of colonialism and neocolonialism, and the blasé yet degrading action of corporate interests.
We're coming to you from the entrance of District 9, as today Multinational United sets out to relocate approximately 1.8 million alien residents from their homes.
The scene in focus begins with a newsreel of a reporter amid protests at the entrance to District 9, covering the beginning of the MNU, Multinational United, program to relocate the aliens, or prawns as they're referred to. The entrance to the slum is extremely militarized, and the operation instantly looks like an invasion rather than a humanitarian effort. Interestingly enough, the MNU is not an arm of the state, but a private corporation. This is an important decision by Blomkamp, as it points to the intense influence that private interests and capital have in generating the inequality seen in urban spaces. The scene raises ethical questions for the audience. Why is it that we devote so much to policing these struggling areas rather than investing in their well-being? Here we are introduced to our protagonist, Wikus van der Merwe, in his element as an MNU agent. In the beginning of the film, Wikus appears to be the embodiment of the nonchalant oppressor, obliviously moving through the township with little to no regard for the well-being of aliens. Even his last name, one of the most common amongst Afrikaners in South Africa, is the butt of many jokes that point fun at the woefully ignorant Afrikaans everyman. However, Wikus does not remain so one-dimensional throughout the film, as his perspective is violently changed from oppressor to the other when he is transformed into an alien through contact with a biological weapon. Here, we are given a close-up shot of an alien's face, the first of its kind throughout the movie, with an accompanying news headline reading, "Aliens seem to be responding negatively to PMC and police presence within District 9. The alien's face is not just in full detail here, but its piercing eyes create an emotional connection between the audience and the supposed other. It is juxtaposed with the headline that is cruel in how obvious and reductive it is. What is clearly an incredibly complex moment, emotionally and physically, for the slum dwellers, is packaged into a neat, digestible headline for those outside in Johannesburg. This shot points to one of the shining achievements of this film. There's no question that the aliens in this film are representative of marginalized populations, migratory or indigenous, across the developing world. What is so unique about this film is how Blomkamp challenges our feelings towards something so alien and so distant from us as humans, moving us to move past our prejudices and empathize with these creatures on a deep level.
We are here to assist you.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Move on! Let's go! This is MNU agents. Open the door, please. Open up.
Always hold your...
As the operation continues, we are confronted head-on with the severity of this endeavor. Violent eviction and police brutality are all too common for the residents of District 9 and point to the broader tendencies of colonial and Western governments to rely on structural and individual violence to suppress dissent and maintain law and order.
Oh, that's a pity, because you know this, this is a nice cat food, you know. But of course, it's not your house, eh? So we'll just have to go and give it to someone else. We need you to sign there, okay? There it is. Now you can take that. Oh, okay, all right. Thomas, wait. So take it easy, my friend.
The creatures became incredibly obsessed with cat food. There's something about that. It was like catnip for cats, only a lot more intense.
Here we're first introduced to the aliens' drug-like dependency on cat food, mirroring the crack cocaine epidemic of the 1980s and 1990s in the US and the more contemporary opioid crisis. The scene introduces us to yet another of the myriad ways that the alien population is exploited and humiliated through means incredibly difficult to control on their own part. Interestingly enough, cat food is not illegal in this situation, but in fact promoted and its use encouraged by MNU agents.
Where there's a slum, there's crime. And District 9 was no exception. The Nigerians had various scams going. One of them was the cat food scam, where they sold cat food to the aliens for exorbitant prices.
District 9 does, however, find itself guilty of the very practice of othering that it critiques, specifically in its portrayal of Nigerians. Depicting them as criminal scavengers that profit off of the abjection of the aliens, Blomkamp falls into prevalent racial stereotyping that is often directed at foreigners of African descent living in South Africa. Throughout the film, Nigerians in District 9 are portrayed as scheming people who will engage in all kinds of debaucheries, including arms dealing, drug trading, and the ever-ridiculous interspecies prostitution. This one-dimensional portrayal has remained a pervasive critique of the film, and points to how ingrained the psychology of stereotyping and othering is in our society, even to those who attempt to call it out. District 9 is a film that continually questions the physical and psychological spaces that those in power create, that those with privilege fail to notice or willfully discount, and that those with little power are forced to inhabit. Thanks for watching.